As per the 8th edition of the India Skills Report, less than half of the Indian graduates are employable due to a lack of professional skill sets. The report stated in 2021, nearly 45.9% of graduates are found employable, a decline from 46.21% in 2020 and 47.38% in 2019. India has a large population of unemployable youth in the current scenario. Let's discuss this further. Next, we have a panel discussion on integration of skill, employability, and entrepreneurship in higher education. I would like to invite T. Radhakrishna, editor, south.etgovernment.com, to moderate the discussion. Over to you, Radhakrishna.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the panel discussion on the theme of integration of skills, employability, and entrepreneurship in higher education, which is part of the second edition of Education Innovation and Skill Summit 2021. For sound economic development, an economy, skill-based learning is an integral component of increasing efficiency and productivity. Lack of skills in the education system is indeed a major situational quagmire, as it is not only leads to several losses of manpower, but also erodes the economy. The Indian higher education system has consistently recognized the need to become the more entrepreneurial and innovative with a view to supporting the economic, social, cultural development of the country and its regions. However, the demand for skilled manpower is extreme. Currently, several universities understand the entrepreneurship and innovation are the need of the hour, and it should be part of the curriculum as well. Experts advise that Indian higher education system should develop an entrepreneurial mindset and facilitate students' participation in entrepreneurial boot camps. To take the discussion forward, I am joined by government administrators, academicians, and corporate experts who made their outstanding contributions in the field of higher education and skill development. Today's my first guest is Anju Sharma ma'am, Principal Secretary, Department of Labor and Employment, Government of Gujarat. I just take briefly introduction. Anju ma'am is 1991 IAS batch of Gujarat cadre, has been serving in the government at senior leadership positions for nearly 3 decades. She has recently taken charge as the Principal Secretary, Department of Labor and Employment, Government of Gujarat. She holds double master's degrees, MBA in Marketing Finance and master's degree in International Development Policy from Duke University, USA. She has received several awards, including the Prime Minister's Award for Administrative Excellence for implementing the sickle cell anemia control program in the state during 2011. Ma'am, welcome to the panel discussion.
Thank you.
My second guest is Dr. S. Selvakumar, IAS Secretary, Department of Skill Development, Entrepreneurship and Livelihood, and Chairman of Karnataka Skill Development Authority, Government of Karnataka. Dr. S. Selvakumar is currently holding the Secretary, Department of Skill Development, Entrepreneurship, Livelihood, and Government of Karnataka. He belongs to 1997 IAS batch of Karnataka cadre with a rich educational background covering fellowship of the Institutional Engineers India, Bachelor's Law, Master's in International Development Program, and also a doctorate. He has also served in his term as a Director of the Prime Minister's Office previously. My third guest is Mr. Shrikant Sinha. Sir, Dr. Selvakumar, please welcome to the panel discussion.
Thank you.
My third guest is Mr. Shrikant Sinha, Chief Executive Officer of Telangana Academy for Skill and Knowledge. In short, TASK, a not-for-profit organization created by Government of Telangana for bringing synergy among institutions of government, industry, academia, with an objective of offering quality human resource and services to the industry. Prior to that, he was the Chief Executive Officer of NICMAR Foundation. He has a vast experience in higher education in APAC and MENA markets. My fourth and final guest speaker, Professor Anil Kashyap, who is the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of the National Institute of Construction, Management and Research, in short, NICMAR, a non-profit organization with the express objective of engaging in activities for the promotion of training, research, professionalism, and skill formation at all levels of the construction and other allied industries. He holds more than 2 decades of experience in practice and academia research both in India and abroad. Dr. Kashyap is a chartered member of the Royal Town Planning Institute in London and a fellow of the Institute of Town Planners, India. NICMAR is recognized as a scientific and industrial research organization, in short, CSIRO, by the Department of Science and Industrial Research, Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India. Gentlemen, Dr. Anil Kashyap, thank you very much, and Mr. Shrikant Sinha, welcome to the panel discussion. My first question to Ma'am Anju Sharma. Skill development is a national and also an international subject too. So which are your ongoing initiatives for skills and employability in Gujarat? Who is the most important target audience for skill development at this moment? Before that, congratulations for your new assignment, ma'am.
Thank you very much. And this is a very very timely topic that you have chosen: integration of skill, employability, and entrepreneurship in higher education. And actually, this is one subject that has been very close to my heart always, because after serving a very long stint in higher education, I've taken over in the Department of Labor, Employment, and Skill Development. And I firmly believe in mainstreaming of skilling. And that's what we need to do in the coming years, an integration of the skilling and higher education. Now, NEP, of course, is very clear in stating this loud and clear that in the coming days, we have to look at integration of both these aspects of education. Now, the thing is that somewhere down the line, we have entered into a scenario where skill is not looked at in a very broad-based context. What we consider as skill at the moment is probably the lower level skills, which we call as skilled worker. So it's a skill, something emanating from unskilled labor, semi-skilled labor, and skilled labor. So anything which the skilled labor does is skill. But you, me, all these panelists, everybody needs skills of one kind or the other to do well at home, to do well in profession, we have to keep on upgrading ourselves. Even for hobbies, we need to have skills. We have to be skilled in that hobby, to excel in that hobby. For example, if you love painting, then you have to be skilled in painting. You have to develop some kind of skill in that. So a skill has to be seen as a very, very generic kind of a concept. And if we look at a generic kind of concept, then it becomes too broad-based. Now, education has to therefore merge into it, so that that typical concept of seeing skill as a separate vertical of preparing a skilled labor force, that has to give way to bringing in mainstreaming skill into the entire education process. Now, how do we do that? First is, I give you a case in point that somebody who does after 10th standard, after high school, after 10th grade, a student has various options. You go to engineering, you can go to medical, you can go to, that comes after 12th. I'm talking about 10th. 10th will be you do either polytechnic or you go into 11th formal schooling. Science stream, general stream, A group, B group, or whatever, what have you. Or you go to an ITI. Now, here we are making a divide. You are ITI, you are polytechnic, and you are 12th, normal higher secondary. Now, after 2 years, ITI is only ITI diploma. Polytechnic continues for 4 years, at least gets a D2D entry into the engineering. And even if they don't get into the formal system, they still have that formal diploma recognized by AICTE, because of which they can take an admission into several courses. But the 10 plus 2 student becomes 12 pass. Even a normal general stream student who scores 35% or 40%, depending upon the norm, in 10 plus 2 examination gets admission into BA. But this ITI fellow, after ITI diploma of 2 years, you're just an ITI diploma. You don't have a qualification which can entitle you to a further admission into higher education process. So in a way, these students get deprived of that process of higher education. We have to devise a system whereby we treat all of them together and say, no, see, you may have done your ITI, so what? There is a vocational stream also in 10 plus 2. So in a way, you are following that vocational stream, no? So you are also eligible after doing a 2-year ITI diploma. Why are they not eligible for a BA admission or a BSc admission or whatever? And once there should be courses in which they can study for another 3 years in the skill of their choice and earn a graduate degree, earn a postgraduate degree, do research in that. Why not? Why it should be that if it is, say, for example, a trade like welding. Now, if a normal welder will be ITI, but if you have to do research in welding, it has to be somebody who's done his engineering. You will not be a person from ITI. So that's where we have to really hit at when we are trying to integrate the entire system. One simple thing is that the ITI graduates who do 2 years after 10 successfully and pass the NCVT and the state vocational board examinations, vocational council examinations, they should be automatically eligible and they should be treated equivalent to 10 plus 2. We are working in this line, and the government has made several taken up several initiatives to bring that equivalence. And the language examination now we have tied up with the state board to organize a separate language examination for all these students so that they can take up the language examination, and when they come out with 10 plus 2, they can immediately get a 10 plus 2 degree. So that's one thing, but we can have, because this is something that is a larger system, so we can make it more formal and more organized in the years to come. That's one thing. Second is that the development of the skilling at various process, basic skilling, upskilling, advanced skilling, and all that. An initiative that we have very recently taken is the Kaushalya Skill University. Now, Kaushalya Skill University has just been approved and we are still in the process of setting it up. The idea is to basically provide a kind of pedagogy which is skill based, but at the same time, it also serves as a formal education. So, for example, it can be BSc skill track. So, the thing is that in every subject, there are certain set of skills which can be offered to a student as a part of their higher education to make them employable. You just have to make some changes in the pedagogy and the syllabus pattern and the examination pattern and the credit pattern to enable that skilling. So that skill component has to be a very, very integral part of any graduation program, BA, BSc. See, for example, a course like history, somebody who's taking up history can be given skill courses in art criticism, mass communication, translation, languages, tourist guides, tour operators. No, all these kind of things can be given to them. Even drafting skills, letter writing. Why not? Even things like film critics. So all students who are doing botany, biology, they can be taught organic farming, they can be taught gardening skills, they can be taught the urban gardening,
Okay.
greenhouse farming. These are just examples. But I'm trying to say every subject can have associated skills, and the UGC format, CBCS formats provides enough room for bringing in these kind of skill-based courses into the curriculum. So we should work on that, and that's what we are working on as a part of the Skill University. And we hope to start some very innovative pedagogy in the university and take up some very innovative programs through it. Other than that, of course, we have the Gujarat Skill Development Mission, in which we are taking up skill-based skill development programs through the industry and also starting Center of Excellence with the local industry to provide skill development tailored to the needs of the industry. And as a part of that also, the Skill University is going to be quite instrumental in formalizing these courses and making them very, very industry specific. So that also we are working. And actually, these are a few innovative things that we are doing. And once again, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Dr. Selvakumar, welcome to the panel discussion. Sir, your initial remarks, which are ongoing initiatives for skills and employability in Karnataka, and who is your most important target audience for the skill development at this moment?
Good afternoon, everybody. It's my pleasure to be here in this panel. Actually, Karnataka is the first state to have the skill development, entrepreneurship and livelihood department as a separate subject. We have taken it up as a mission mode when the government of India has announced the Prime Minister's Kaushalya Vikas Yojana in the year 2015. Our state followed suit, and we have started this separate department with focus only on skilling, entrepreneurship and livelihood. So it covers the varied spectrum of skilling, from the higher level skilling to the lowest level skilling, which is already available as an informal sector. We have GTTCs, Government Tool Room Training Centers, which are all spread across the state. All the districts are having these institutions. We have upgraded them to the level of Center of Excellence to the tune of at least 50% of the GTTCs are upgraded. When we analyzed the participation of the students from different spectrum of academic institutions who are all coming to these GTTCs for short-term training courses, we felt that the engineering students, polytechnic students and ITI students require further finishing touch in terms of upskilling. So that's the reason we have, our state has introduced the Chief Minister's Kaushalya Karnataka Yojana, which is a parallel program of Government of India with the flexibility to take the courses as and when it's required and to suit the industry needs. And also we have a tie-up with German government. The Karnataka German Technological Training Institutes have been started a few years back, and two of them are doing excellently well in terms of Center of Excellence. So based on these models, we thought that we need to have many decentralized hub and spoke model, which can impart skill to all our diploma holders or engineering degree holders. So recently we have tied up with Tata Technologies and 18 other partners to upgrade our ITIs to the level of Industry 4.0 technology in all the ITIs of the state. All the ITIs are now getting equipped to handle Industry 4.0 technology. We are introducing 11 long-term courses, 21 short-term courses in these institutions. It will be acting as a hub and spoke model. Each ITI will cater to the needs of the nearby engineering graduates or the diploma holders or the ITI holders from other institutions. So in these institutions, we are providing 11 advanced courses in the sense that, for example, advanced automobile engineering, battery electric vehicle, advanced plumbing, basic design and additive manufacturing, like that. Different kind of industry needed courses are being offered. Similarly, the short-term courses are being offered in the evening classes. After the regular sessions are over in these institutions, we are trying to capture the nearby students who are interested in taking this Industry 4.0. So by this process, we are now equipping our students, at least 6,000 in number in this year. We have already taken the admission process for the regular 2-year or 1-year courses. And also we are aiming to train at least 1 lakh students in the short-term courses. So it will be a game changer in terms of the technological manpower availability. So the 18 industries which have partnered themselves, they are putting their money under CSR program. 90% of the investment is from them. Only 10% of the investment is from the state government. That is around 650 crores we have invested. Remaining 4,050 crores they have contributed in the form of equipments, machineries, and softwares. We have already built all the new structures in these 150 institutions. The installation is on, and we are planning to launch it in a day or two. It's a massive program which will decentralize the investment process in the state of Karnataka. So far, if you see, there is a concern among the investors that only few two-tier cities or Bangalore is getting crowded in the investment. Now that scenario may change. People will be having the option of investing in taluk level places also, where the trained manpower is available in plenty.
Thank you very much, sir. Over to Mr. Shrikant Sinha. Welcome to the panel discussion. TASK is a not-for-profit organization created by government of Telangana for bringing synergy among the institutions of government, industry, academia with an objective of offering quality human resources service to the industry. You have been in the position for more than 2 years. What has been your experience and strategy to achieve your objectives?
Thank you very much. It's indeed a pleasure to be present amongst such an august panel today. I think Telangana government was the first government, and probably being the youngest state, also looked at it in a very holistic manner as to how do you ensure that people become more employable. And that's where TASK was actually created. We were created to look at how things could be combined together. In fact, today, if you look at the topic of the panel discussion itself, which is the integration of higher education, innovation, and entrepreneurship, that's exactly what TASK stands for. So we are standing on 3 pillars, which is education, employability, and entrepreneurship. And that's what TASK actually delivers, TASK provides. Over the last 2 years, we have skilled close to about more than 2 lakh plus students have benefited from our programs. We offer about 85 different kind of skilling courses. We work with about 40 plus partners, right from the Oracle to Salesforce to RPA organizations such as Blue Prism, Automation Anywhere, etc. So high-end technology courses at one side. To the other side, we are also creating courses on medical coding and billing. As you know, Telangana also provides 1/3 of world's vaccines. So we are also providing skills on not only ITES and IT, but also towards logistics. We are providing small training programs towards vaccine skill development, towards logistics, towards multiple areas, electronics, VLSI integration. Now we are also moving towards quantum computing. So it's a combination of all kinds of cutting across verticals, of course, emphasis being on emerging technologies. While Bangalore is the IT capital of India, Hyderabad is emerging slowly and slowly as the emerging technologies capital for India. And that's where our focus is also, that how do you ensure that whether it's AI, whether it's blockchain, whether it's different emerging technologies, how they can become part of each and everything. Pandemic has already taught us that all industries, whom we even thought that, shop floors, etc., cannot function without people being present over there, very quickly moved on to other kinds of things, including usage of technology. IR 4.0 has taught us one thing, that while all the previous revolutions were based on a single technology, be it IR 3.0, which was internet-based, IR 4.0 is a combination of multiple technologies and the combination of that. And that's where I think our focus has been moving ahead. That's what our strategy would be, so that we are able to skill the right people, be it civil engineers with knowledge on data analytics, etc., so that they can apply the things to their concepts, So that's where our major focus would be moving ahead. How can we provide industry-ready people? And of course, as Madam also mentioned, it's important for us to realize and bring down the difference. Today, we are trying to create skills university, which might end up as a competition to our existing universities. So as Madam rightly said, we need to look at how we can bring education and skilling more closer, because at the end of the day, for good music, you require people who are musicians, but for creating music, you need people who are PhDs in music, etc. So it's a combination of both, but that's what we will try to offer through TASK. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sinha, and over to Dr. Anil Kashyap. Dr. Anil Kashyap, you lead a non-profit organization, and it is also a scientific and industrial research organization recognized by the Government of India. How do you view the skill component into the construction management and research national institution with the multiple footprints you have in India?
Yeah, thank you for inviting me on this panel this afternoon. This is quite august panel with key people involved into this particular agenda, which is very pertinent in today's context. I will be, in my initial remarks, I'll be touching upon two things here. One is my own institutional experience, and then I will go touch upon a little bit of generic coming from a bit of an international experience from UK and other places. I'm very pleased to inform the panel and the audience that NICMAR is a specialist construction, infrastructure, real estate, education provider for last, I think, 35, 36 years, started in 83. And our placement record has been phenomenal over last number of years. And the reason for that is exactly the same question which you have put here, is integration of skills and looking at employability as a prime motto. And that is the reason that students come through a very competitive process and get really a rewarding career at the end of their graduation. They even get placed before even they graduate from the institute. They call as early joiners in the industry. They get picked up in the second year itself, beginning of the second year, and they get onto their career. So the one reason which I would say here is that we have got quite a close contact and a feedback loop with the industry, that what they need, and we are able to actually build that into our curriculum and effect some changes so rapid that whenever they graduate, they are really ready to take on those new challenges and new responsibilities, new skills. And I'll give you a couple of examples with the digitization of the construction industry. For example, building information modeling, BIM, is a new skill. It is a software. Normally we do Primavera and all those project management as a traditional softwares, but BIM was quite new, and we added BIM into our curriculum very quickly and then trained our graduates into those skills. And that was well received by the industry. That is one thing, that ability of higher education and technical education institutions to adapt to the changing need of the industry is very key. And this is the similar experience of mine in the UK as well. But on the other hand, sometimes I feel that our technical education institutions like engineering colleges and all, with I don't know whatever bureaucratic or sort of accreditation mechanisms involved in there, are not unable to change some of these very rapidly, and that's the reason that they always be behind the curve, and graduates then they come out are sometimes not really fit for the need need of today in the industry, but people are catching up. I think people got the message, institution got the message, and they are trying to work up on that way. But that has been a main reason for some of these industry ready professional gap in country. That's one part. Second part, which I would like to touch upon, and I'm really delighted to see some of the remarks around ITIs, role of ITIs, and how some of these integration is happening, and particularly Shri Sinha's remark about competition between skills university and normal university is very interesting. I think we have to see that very seriously as well. In UK's context, there is no skill university. I can tell you that there is no skill university as such. All the university have been mandated to provide skilled workforce. And the graduate, which even they come from psychology or sociology, the curriculum have been designed in such a way that they get some skill to get into the profession, whatever suitable to them, and they come out from there, not the bookish knowledge, but some skills which are aligned to those professions. So that is one part of the story. So that is the reason that we have to bring our curriculum aligning to the employability, and that's where many universities in UK are saying in their vision and mission that we produce employment ready graduate, and that is very true. So somehow in our education system as well, we can try to inculcate. And finally, last very quick comment about and since Madam Sharma is here and being principal secretary and labor and employment in the state government, I think one thing I will share with and Dr. Selvakumar as well. In the UK universities, there is a survey at the end of their degree that how many students are into employment. That is called GOS, Graduate Employment Survey. So that is conducted, and each institution is measured on the basis of their performance of the GOS score. People can go into higher education, they can go into formal employment, they can go into informal employment, and all that is tracked. So I think if labor, and I'm sure Adam is very well placed in having some sort of statistics that how many we are coming out of the system, where they are, what kind of need and demands we can create for them. All that will be really helpful if institutions are mandated to collect that data, that where their graduates are going. And I can provide some of the methodology how that is being done. So I'll finish here, but I'll come back with my other remarks later on.
Thank you, Dr. Anil Kashyap. Over to Ma'am Anju Sharma. Ma'am, just can you highlight your some achievements in skill development, your priorities as part of your strategic initiatives?
As I told you, what we are looking at is upgrading the ITIs to a level where they not only provide the basic skills, but also the advanced skills. And bringing the advanced skills are 12th plus also. So it should not remain confined at the 12th level, but at the graduation level also. And these ITIs, some of these ITIs, which are upgraded ones, can also serve as the institutions which can integrate higher education with the skill component, having courses, higher education courses that have a predominant skill component would up to say at least 30% or so, or 40%.
Okay.
Another thing is as I told you, through the institutions, through the training institutions, through our own ITIs, and through our industry, we are skilling at least 3 to 4 lakh individuals every year into various skills. And this includes short-term, long-term, medium-term, all kind of courses, a large number of them being short-term courses of 3 to 6 months, and then 1 year, 2 year programs. So around 4 lakh we are able to skill every year. And plus we are coming up with the Indian Institute of Skills that's going to exclusively provide skill in emerging technology. And we are looking at tapping basically the sectors that are offering skills that are offering a job opportunity and that are demanding highly specialized skills and upgrading our ITIs and conducting TOTs for the same. So we are having one Gujarat Apex Training Institute kind of set up for that. In that also we'll be taking up TOT for advanced skills. So, because the technology has changed over a period of time, so we are also changing the some of the curricula and the modality of delivery of the training program. So these are the things that we are working on, and plus what we are doing is that we have created an employment portal for the government. Now, this employment portal, though it has been created by the government, it's open to anybody and everybody. So you can register yourself as an employer, and anybody can register themselves as a job seeker on that. And at the moment, we have something like 40,000 employers and more than 3.5 lakh job seekers on that. And there are about 70,000-80,000 vacancies at single point of time on that at the moment. It's been only 2 months that we launched this portal, and it's been really picking up well. Because here, any type of skill, if you require, it is available amongst the job seekers. If it is not available amongst it, so it matches the skill requirement with the skill the job seeker is bringing. So if that skill requirement is not there, then the system is giving us an input that this kind of skill demand is there in the industry, but it is not getting fulfilled. So those then we are picking up, and we are trying to modify our course basket to make adequate changes. So that's also a part of our strategy. So right from basically upgrading the existing structure to develop it into a more demand-based kind of structure, and at the same time tapping the advanced and emerging technologies.
Ma'am, what is the roadmap for Kausalya University? Will it be functional this?
Yeah, Kaushalya University has been passed by the legislature a month back. So it's been just, the gadget has just been issued. We intend to start a few courses by the beginning of the next academic year, very few courses, but we will be working more, the university will be working more on the affiliation and recognition of the graduation and post-graduation courses being offered by various colleges to various colleges, and the degree will be given by the skill university. If any institution, private institution or government institution wants to take up a skill as per the pedagogy of the skill university, if they want to start a program and run a program, they can do that, and the skill university will affiliate. It is more of a knowledge support kind of university, like a university is, it's not like a college. It's not like an institute where you just run courses. That can be done by an institute. The more of an affiliating body, recognizing body, more of a research body, where constantly the curricula is upgraded. So it will be having an academic council along with a skill development council. So both these councils will together work on the roadmap is that they will work together to offer initially a certain set of graduation programs to the educational institutions of the state, which can be then extended to the students. So in fact, the point that Mr. Anil Kashyap said, I think, if I'm not mistaken, every university should actually be providing this skill. It's a part of every program. But, this is a tall order because and the new education policy certainly envisages it. And it's, as I told you in the beginning itself, that it's very loud and clear as a part of the new education policy. But it will take some number of years to bring that into the common system. The Kaushalya Skill University will expedite that process. So we can give ready, tailor-made courses to the other universities and colleges. If they want, especially colleges, if they want to run our courses, they automatically get affiliation. And they can give our degree to their students if they are running that particular program, or if they have to run a particular. We will also be entering into MOU, collaborative arrangements with other universities. So if the other universities want to take up our skill development programs, the structure of our skill development programs, and they can take it, and with our support, they can do it. So basically, we would like to at least have 3 to 4 such courses ready, especially in the general stream, BA, BCom, and BSc, because we will not be focusing a lot on BTech and BBA at the moment. Of course, later on, that's also a part of the system, but our understanding is that larger chunk is into BA, BSc, and BCom, and that is the chunk where we have to concentrate a lot on the skill. So we will be targeting more these programs first, and through collaboration with international universities also. In fact, some international universities have approached us to have tie-ups and collaborations. So we will be having collaborations with them to get their curricula and to get their courses and run programs along with them. So that's in a very generic roadmap as of now, but we are working on it, and we are in the process of developing it.
Thank you, ma'am. Over to Dr. Selvakumar. Sir, my last question. Your top priorities for the current financial year, and are you planning any Kausalya University in Karnataka?
Actually, we had discussions to start the university, but our priority as of now is to focus on the existing requirement of skills, particularly in the field of future skills and health sector, which is a major sector in the state of Karnataka. So we are focusing more on our traditional skills and future skills. The university thing is right now is not on the cards, but we would like to have it as the days come.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Over to Mr. Shrikant Sinha. My last question, sir. Of course, your roadmap is very strong with the strategy. Can you just highlight your priorities for this current financial year?
Sure. Thank you, and thank you, ma'am, for whatever you said. I think is absolutely what the Skills University should be doing. So congratulations on that. And our focus is how do you democratize things. So today there are 33 districts in Telangana. How do you ensure that each and every student in every nook and corner is able to access high quality education, so high quality skills education, and that is our first priority. Second priority is how do you create and democratize entrepreneurship, bring in innovation, bring in entrepreneurship right at the grassroots itself. So that's our second priority, and we are running a program, and we will be further broad-basing it, called as Samajika Avishkaranalu Sarlamaina Jivitanki, which is as simple as social innovation for simplifying lives. So how do you actually accelerate so that you can create a complete batch of solopreneurs, micropreneurs? We are not talking about unicorns. Unicorns, there's another system like T-Hub, V-Hub, which is creating them. But our problem thing is to focus on creating an entrepreneurial and innovation mindset. So that's the second thing. Third is, of course, as I said, we look very closely. We work with, there are 14 priority sectors over here in Telangana, as you're aware: IT, ITES, aerospace, pharma, life sciences, etc. So we look at what are the job openings, and then we tailor make those programs. Whatever is lacking in academic curriculum, we try to bridge that gap so that industry gets industry-ready resources. Just to give a short example about helping. The pharma city is coming up in Telangana, which will be Asia's and probably the world's largest pharma cluster itself. So we are training people already on those skills so that tomorrow when the companies come up, be it lab technician skills or even manufacturing or production assistant skills, are provided to them, so that they can have an easy setup. So those are some of our priority areas as we go through this financial year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shrikant Sinha. Over to Dr. Anil Kashyap. Are you planning to collaborate with the state governments for expanding your knowledge and expertise? What are your top priorities for this financial year? Briefly, please.
Absolutely. see, construction sector itself, as everybody is aware, is the second highest employment provider in the country after agriculture. Construction sector is the highest foreign direct investment attractor for the country. And with the national government mission of developing huge infrastructure and bringing, trillion-dollar economy is very much being realized under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister and various ministries. So, in nutshell, construction related, infrastructure related activities will be in huge demand, and they will be requiring skills for that. So in that kind of spirit, NICMAR, which is a well-reputed institution providing skills and filling those skills gap, we are actually setting up 2 universities, one in the state of Telangana and one in state of Maharashtra. So both government have kindly given us the letter of intent to set up the universities in this particular niche area. So my priority is to work with the government to identify where the gaps are and how we can actually expand our current provision into some of the areas where new things are coming. And I would like to actually add some of the digital technologies into construction infrastructure so that the quality, the budget, the speed, and all that can be actually taken care of. And that is the reason I will be working on some of the new programs, collaborating with foreign universities in introduction of machine learning, introduction of 3D printing of the construction, introduction of speeding of the building of the national highways. All those new things will be part of my curriculum over next short to medium term, and that will keep me quite busy in doing that.
Thank you, Dr. Anil Kashyap. With this, I conclude today's panel discussion. I sincerely thank you, Anju Sharma, Principal Secretary, Department of Labor and Employment, Government of Gujarat, and Dr. Selvakumar, Secretary, Department of Skill Development, Entrepreneurship, Livelihood, Government of Karnataka, and Mr. Shrikant Sinha, Chief Executive Officer of Task, Government of Telangana, Dr. Anil Kashyap, DG and Chief Executive Officer of NICMAR, based in Hyderabad. I thank you very much for your insights and joining the panel.
Thank you everyone for sharing your valuable insights with us. Now let's see what's there in the next session. Stay with us.